such good shit!
Hey, Mark Rodriguez here. You're watching the Diving Cutter podcast, and with me is
NinjaPanda 1980.
Johnny Rodriguez.
And today we're doing our predictions on the AEW Double or Nothing 2022. That's going to be super awesome. Memorial Day weekend in Las Vegas, Nevada. So that's pretty cool. And before
Las Vegas, baby.
Yep. And before we get there, we're going to get into some of the big drama going on here and there with several people, mostly women. I've noticed a lot of the news concerns women, as you'll notice in this one. So the most biggest and most recent thing is the whole Sasha Banks and Naomi walkout. They just walked out. They're supposed to be in, I think, a fatal four-way kind of match. And the original plan was supposed to be that Sasha was going to pin Naomi, and then they would both go to separate solo matches where I think Sasha was going to lose to Ronda Rousey and Naomi was going to lose to Bianca Belair, or either or, you know, don't matter. But either way, they were both going to lose, and they were not going to defend their tag team titles for a good couple of weeks, to the point where when they asked, I'm not sure, either creative or Vince himself, they asked, like, you know, so, like, okay, when are we going to defend our titles? Oh, we got no plans for that next. That's probably for the next interview after this one or whatever. So that's when they walked out. And it's caused a lot of controversy and mixed opinions, people that are for them and against them and blah, 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 blah. So what are your guys' thoughts?
I don't know. I'm a little torn on it. I mean, there's a bit of an unspoken rule that, you know, no matter how crappy the booking is as far as wrestling goes, you don't just walk out. Like, you know, you do what you gotta do and you just keep it pushing. But in the same sense, like, the women's division, especially the tag team division, has been getting screwed over for a long, long time, especially when they started, you know, cutting wrestlers, getting rid of tag teams, things like that. And then, you know, Sasha already being screwed over twice with the appearance of Ronda Rousey. Like, this would have been the second time. So I kind of don't blame her. But in the same sense, you know, you kind of stick to your guns. You never know. Something better might be coming. So I'm a little torn on that one.
Didn't she... Oh, sorry, I was going to say real quick. Didn't she walk out before for a good while? She had kind of a sort of mental breakdown, and she, like, renamed her socials to her real name for whatever, a couple of weeks. Then she came back, and they finally gave her, like a decent title reign.
Well, yeah, she walked out before, but that, again... that was around the time that Ronda Rousey had showed up, and then they just pushed her storyline back, because what was supposed to happen was she was supposed to have a defense against, I believe it was Charlotte Flair, and then Ronda came in, they were like, oh yeah, Ronda Rousey, you get out of the way, Sasha. So that's kind of what happened there.
'Cause that's good shit.
Well, my opinion is that the WWE, it's kind of like, it's a spot where it's at right now, so I don't know, maybe the walking out made it a little bit interesting.
Yeah, it's getting so WWE is so bad that the best part of it is the out of ring drama compared to, like, what the actual events like.
Yeah, it's getting rough between Roman Reigns mysteriously just popping up and taking a vacation, the Sasha and Naomi deal, Stephanie McMahon stepping down.
Yeah, that's another thing we were going to cover. Like, now, was there any... I didn't get too much information. Like, at first, it sounded like... I think she said something like she's just taking... Like, just stepping down for a while or whatever. But then, like you said, they even removed the WWE from her name, from her socials and stuff. So, like, do you know the story there or any information on...
No, but you can kind of see the writing on the wall. I mean, you know, she says she's stepping down for her family, but... in the first sense, you know, the first thing that pops into your head is, okay, you're stepping down for your family. Wouldn't you have stepped down for those options when your husband was in the hospital, you know, having a heart attack? Or, you know, when he first got injured and ripped his pectoral muscle and he was out for God knows how long. So you're kind of, you know, you kind of see the writing on the walls there. She says it's for her family, but when you're starting to see logos removed, her moving off of the, like, the promotional posters, stuff like that, you know, you kind of wonder if there's something more behind the scenes other than just it's her family. Not to mention, the part that makes it scary is the simple fact that her replacement, for the time being, is Nick Khan, who's the same guy that's been talking in Vince McMahon's ears and causing all the firings to begin with.
Now, what is Triple H's current status? Because I know that he's no longer doing the NXT thing. Like, he's no longer in charge of it or whatever.
Oddly enough, he's back into operations. He's actually coming back and working it full time. He's not going back to the ring by any means, but he is back to business as usual, from what I understand.
Oh my god, but that's just a lot. Any thoughts on that one, Johnny? Stephanie McMahon herself, like, stepping down? Like,
It's crazy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's more to it than just. I mean, it could be legit reasons. Maybe, she really does have to leave for, family issues, right? But even that, in a case like that, you could still kind of like, okay, I'll be off I'll be off for the WWE for a while until I get these sort of. But to just automatically, like, pretty much like resign, yeah, I don't know. It seems like there's more to it, and I'm pretty sure that how social media is. Eventually, we're gonna find out. As much as they try to cover things up, we're probably gonna find out, the possibility of why she is stepping down. Now, I don't know the whole thing, but I don't know how she. How's her family dynamic with Vince McMahon? So I don't know if they clash, if they get along well, or I don't know how that goes. So I'm thinking that maybe that has something to do with it as well.
yeah, that could be. I mean, I don't really know how well the McMahon family gets along, like, off camera.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I've heard there's been a good bit of animosity between Shane and Vince since Vince decided to leave him out of the WrestleMania. What was it? This previous WrestleMania, actually.
Yeah, it's just like I don't know, man. I don't know, man. It's like
There's like
it's imploding on itself.
It seems like WWE is more interesting with the controversy that's happening rather than what's actually happening in the ring.
Yeah, I bet you we're gonna see Vince McMahon. So, hey, you AEW guys aren't hiring, are you?
Now, since we're talking about WWE, is anybody getting updated on how I don't know how Cody Rhodes is being handled in the enterprise? Like, well, what do you guys? Have you guys heard anything about him or what's going on?
I heard mostly he's been kind of doing back and forth with Seth Rollins and stuff. I'm surprised they actually didn't beat Seth Rollins twice. I thought that, like, the second one was kind of like to make up for it. Like, okay, we let you win because you're the new guy and stuff. But now it's like, business as usual, is bury your ass. But no, he actually got to beat Rollins twice. And I hate Rollins' new stupid-ass gimmick. Why are Rollins and Becky dressing up like stupider and stupider outfits each time we see them?
I don't know. Like, the last outfit I saw him in, he was looking like a pimp from the Game of Thrones. Like, I have no idea what the deal was with that whole deal, but it just looked ridiculous.
And I guess he's a face now because he's always smiling and stuff. It just looks so unnatural. He'll always be a heel to me, especially with his whininess and stuff. It just looks weird seeing him all smiling and happy and whatnot.
Yeah, I miss his old Shield gear, to be honest with you. I wish he'd go back to that.
But on other news, the last thing we got, unless you guys heard any other interesting rumors, but we've got Tessa Blanchard fucking it up all over again. So the Women's of Wrestling is, I think, going to come out in June, right? It's their premiere for their big reboot and all that good stuff. And it's like, we're days away from June, and Tessa, like, apparently had a falling out with the company and may not be with them anymore, which is very confusing because around that same time, she started posting more videos of herself, like, hitting the gym and stuff on Instagram, which is kind of like, okay, you're buffing up, but buffing up for what? Because, I mean, it sounds like you've been kicked out of the thing, or you have a falling out, or some shit's going on. And it sucks because, this would have been her big chance to clean up her act and everything, and show, you know, that she got better and stuff from all the other things she's done at all the other wrestling companies and backroom locker drama and stuff. You know, this would have been her chance, and she's fucking it up again. So I don't know, man.
I don't know. That is a really weird situation. I mean, I saw the same thing you did. You know, there were pictures and video of Tessa Blanchard hitting the gym, looking like she was doing pretty good, like getting in decent shape. And now all of a sudden, you know, WoW's coming up in days, and she's had another falling out with him. It's strange. I don't understand it. I don't get it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like those happen during that time. It's like if you know, God forbid I lost my job or whatever, and I'm posting pictures on Instagram that I'm having fun in Vegas with my brother and just doing a whole bunch of cool stuff here and there and whatever, like around that general time, people like that know me personally are like, dude, he just lost his job. The fuck is he doing? What's going on there, man? He's like partying hardy and everything. What the fuck, you know? Like, and Tessa's like all smiles, like I'm the happiest I've ever been. Look at me in the gym. Look at me posing. Yeah, you know. I'm like, okay, interesting time to suddenly be posting, because she's been kind of dormant for a while on social media, you know. So interesting time to start like you know, coming back.
Yeah, and just as that's supposed to happen, she basically kind of nopes out. Doesn't really make sense. Like, it seems more like maybe it's a plot, maybe it's a shoot, maybe it's a social media shoot plot, but who knows?
I mean, it could be. You never know. Nowadays in social media, it's just so hard to tell the difference what's a shoot and what's not. And I mean, I remember everyone raged because her first set of new merchandise that came over when they announced the whole WOW thing was a shirt that says like Tessa Blanchard Nuclear Heat. So that was kind of like trolling, I would say. So everybody was like bitching and complaining that she had a shirt like that. So I don't know. This might be a work. Who knows? It reminds me of shortly before Elena Black left the Indies to become Cora Jade on WWE. Joey Janela was starting shit with her, but it was, you know, it was fake. But it was on social media. He was picking on her, starting shit with her. And she's like, oh yeah, you know, like whatever. And lo and behold, they were actually supposed to have a match at some indie show. But then, like, I guess that weekend, WWE, that's when her thing started, so she had to cancel it. But it was like a match, you know. They were throwing things around at each other online, and everybody started, you know, as usual, the White Knights, you know, oh, back off, leave her alone, you know, don't bother my lady and whatever. But it was all a shoot. It was building up for a match. They were actually gonna wrestle in the ring. They were just kind of building it up that way. But yeah, nowadays it's hard to tell exactly what's like, you know, what's like for real fighting words, like they say, or what's just like stuff for a shoot, or, you know, setting up the next match or whatever, you know. I still remember when Rousey was going to go against Becky Lynch before Becky left and came back or whatever, and she was posting on social media. This was that whole period when she was like exposing that wrestling's fake and that she fights for real and all that kind of crap. So she was saying all that stuff like I don't care, this next match at, you know, XYZ pay-per-view and whatever, when I get in the ring with you, I don't care what the script says, I don't care, I'm gonna take your fucking ass down and blah 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 blah. Even when the bell rings, I'm still gonna hit you and whatever else. But obviously the actual wrestling match was, you know, wrestling match.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And it's hard to tell, you know, exactly at this point, you know, what's real and what's fake. I mean, it's kind of funny because I just thought about it. The one thing that could have ever backfired on WWE and literally gotten a force to shut the company down is, and this is a big what if. Yeah, CM Punk's pipe bomb, we found out, was a bit of a shoot. But what if he would have posted that on Twitter right after his burnout? That would have literally melted the WWE down.
Oh, yeah.
You know, given it might have been a shoot, but it would have hurt them. So, you know, it's kind of hard to tell what's real and what's fake nowadays. I mean, I hate to run the words of he who shall not be named, but sometimes it's just fake news.
Yeah. And another thing I do want to say, disappointing though, because if WWE had the Forbidden Door, I mean, that whole thing with the Seth Rollins and Will Ospreay, like, hey, why don't we start comparing bank accounts? That could have been a match. That whole thing could have been like a lead up to an actual match between the two. But of course, you know.
Or better yet, if they would have gotten the Forbidden Door, there could have finally been a revenge match between Will Ospreay and Ricochet.
Yeah. Oh, finally.
Just in, more WWE news. Sadly, NXT superstar Nikita Lyons is currently on the shelf due to a legitimate knee injury and will not be entering the NXT tournament.
Oh, wow. Damn.
Yep, she sprained her MCL, and she's currently in a knee brace. She said she'll be back soon, but currently she is on the shelf.
It's like the sound of 1,000 simps crying and then suddenly being silenced.
I know, right? I mean...
It has to be a knee injury because ain't nothing strong enough to tell me she got an ass injury. Like if she fell in a steel chair, that steel chair would break.
Yeah, like she's down right now, and I'm gonna tell you right now, dude, she's the thickest elf on the shelf. I'll give it that.
Oh God. The one thing I gotta say, now, is she actually a good wrestler though? Because all I hear everywhere is just, oh my gosh, she's so hot. Oh my God, that ass. And it's like, okay, she got a big butt, but is that actual talent? Because you know, like, is she actually good in the ring or so or?
She's actually okay in the ring. Like, she's decent as far as other talents, and let me explain that before any comments get...
Yeah, I'm just saying, because the big head is like, does she have talent? While the small head's like, oh yeah, she's fucking, every match it's a 5-star match. She's amazing. You know, like...
No. She's no Kenny Omega. She's no female Kenny Omega by any means. But she does handle her own pretty well. Now, outside the ring, she's freaking amazing because, like, she does, she's a MMA trainer and a kickboxing instructor, and I've actually seen a few of her videos where she's done the training, is doing, like, weapon-style training, like freestyle martial arts. She's actually really darn good. Like, I'd give her another year, and then I'd be able to say, yeah, she's a damn good wrestler. But as of right now, she does all right. She handles her own. And it's not just, you know, an Attitude Era wrestler where it was just nice to look at, but there was no skill whatsoever.
Yeah. Because I swear, man, I see, like, images online where she's, like, bent over and stuff. They're like, oh, my God, such amazing talent, such amazing skill. You know, she should go to the top. Give her all the titles. Like, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, they're not looking at her skills.
It's not... What was that Mortal Kombat line? Like, gotta admire her attitude or something? Like, it's not her attitude you're admiring or something like that?
Yeah, I think it was, you gotta admire her intuition, and he's like, it's not her intuition you're admiring.
Oh, man. Okay, so the final thing, this is slightly old news, but we haven't really covered it, and again, because you know how it is, we mostly do AEWs, and I guess, Ring of Honor now, and also, hey, we are going to be covering the Forbidden Door. How are we going to miss that, right? But, yeah, this is something we haven't really brought up, but hey, might as well bring it up now. What do you think of, and it is something for you to also know, Johnny, that Braun Strowman and EC3 and some other fools, apparently, Nikki, I forgot her last name, the Nikki from the Riot Squad, are all, no, not Nikki, Sarah Logan, I'm sorry, Sarah Logan's gonna be in there too. They got their own little wrestling promotion, it's called Control Your Narrative, and stuff like that. I don't know if it's coming sooner or how soon they are from starting. I know it's like, number one, there are no rules. Number two, here are the rules. So it's just kind of weird. Apparently no super kicks and no flippy shit and stuff like that. So, I mean, I don't know.
But wait. It's going to be a match with no flippy shit.
Hey, at CYN? Yeah, CYN, no flippy shit.
People love to see flippy shit. People pay good money to see the flippy shit.
Yeah, you know what? I guess they do, right? If you're watching AEW, you kind of have to put up with the flippy shit.
Exactly. If you watch AEW or early NXT, yeah, you're going to see a lot of flippy shit, and that's what a lot of people paid money for.
I mean, people travel across the world just to see the flippy shit.
I love the flippy shit, just don't expect me to remember anything about it the next day when we do a podcast. I'm like, yeah, there was a lot of flippy shit there, and Young Bucks did like about 20 super kicks, and you know, like...
Well, with the Young Bucks, that's a given.
Yeah. But what are your thoughts on, have you heard of Control Your Narrative?
No, not really. It's the first time I'm hearing about all this. I've actually been a bit out of the loop lately, so I really don't really know what's going on right now.
Yeah, because Braun Strowman, I forgot if he was released. Was he released or did he just quit or something? But he was
released.
Ah, okay. First of all, he was making fun of the indies shortly before that. And then he burned those bridges because ain't no one going to hire him. And then even if someone does hire him, he wants to get paid WWE money. So it's like, yeah, you don't go wrestling in the back bars and expect to get paid WWE money. And also, you're not that good. You know what I mean? You're just like a big attraction, but you're not doing like, you know, super fancy something. I don't know, pile drivers off the top rope or whatever. You know what I mean? And
he's not doing any flippy shit.
yeah, but you know, you're not doing like spinning neck breakers and shit like that either. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's like so he decided to make his own wrestling federation with EC3 and I don't know who else. And like I said, I just heard the news that apparently Sarah Logan wants to be there to some degree. So she's basically the first female wrestler announced for that company. But have you heard of them, or what are your thoughts on them? I got a kick out of Jim Cornette's thoughts about them.
Yeah, I heard about them. I didn't think that those were going to be the rules at first. Like, I thought it was just a joke when they said, you know, no top rope stuff, no super kicks, you know, no flippy shit. And I'm just like, okay, that's literally like 60 to 70% of the modern day wrestlers' arsenal. So how are you going to do that? And then when I found out it was legit, I'm like, how are they going to pull this off? Like, all they're going to do is stare at each other, bump, grunt, and maybe punch each other in the face. Like, I can go to a bar and watch that for free.
No.
And maybe get a good beer out of it.
No.
But, you know, we'll have to see what happens there.
Yeah, another thing is, I just noticed, I mean, now obviously we don't know the roster, it's just those two guys so far, but they're both like, you know, the big, overweight, you know, overgrown meatheads, you know? So, like, are there plans to make the entire roster just big guys? Like, you know, the big guys that don't do the flippy shit, just the tall, heavy hitters? Like...
Yeah, I mean, from the way it's sounding, he's trying to make Vince McMahon's wet dream of just a bunch of big men slapping meat. That's all that's going to happen.
Oh, God. Vince McMahon slapping his meat to watching big men slap meat. You can enter that gif of him doing that whole, like, falling backwards in his chair and everything.
That's exactly what the banner is going to be like the opening night of the show.
Oh, no. Now that's good shit. All right, amigos, another news is, and this happened a couple of weeks ago, too. I forgot to mention it earlier, but the Iconics, also known as the Inspiration, stepped down from wrestling. They just stepped down from Impact Wrestling. They were tag team champions for a good while there before Madison Rayne, Natalie Dashwood, or Danielle, I forgot. What's Emma's other name, or I guess her real name? Tennille Dashwood, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so they're the current tag team champs now, Madison Rayne and Tennille Dashwood. But yeah, for a good bit there, Billie Kay and Peyton Royce were the Impact Women Tag Team Champs. And yeah, they surprised everyone when they announced that they're just stepping down from wrestling. So it's not like they got released or whatever the hell, like that other company, that they just stepped down. So it's kind of interesting. Some people are assuming that, hey, maybe they're pregnant or something. Maybe they want to start their families or whatever. But, I mean, I haven't heard any plans of, like, what they're going to do now. But they stepped down when they still had, you know, they still had quite a couple of good years left. You know what I mean? But it's interesting. Any thoughts on that or any speculation? Or has there been any updates since then?
I haven't heard anything as of recent. I'm still looking into it. But... yeah, it was kind of quick and sudden for them to just up and be like, oh yeah, we're going to retire, deuces. So I'm going to do some further investigation into it, but so far I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, that was kind of shocking.
Yeah, this is, seems like pretty much like pretty random stuff that's happening.
But anyway, so now we can finally get into the real thing. I think we don't have any other things there. But yeah, that is also surprising. You bring up a good point with Roman Reigns also taking this... son vacation. I wonder if it's like, damn, all this shit got crazy. I'm gonna step out for a little bit or whatever, you know. But
hey, I don't blame him, you know.
Yeah. So we're gonna kind of go in the order. I guess we'll go in the order of Wikipedia now, since Wikipedia actually updated and got all the matches. Their site is horrible. They did not have any match like listed at all, just to buy tickets or whatever. So I don't know what the fuck's going on there. They really gotta do a better job updating their matches and stuff like that.
Just want people to buy the tickets. Buy the tickets.
Yeah, but yeah, we got a pretty stacked card right to the moment. Like even the last minutes of Rampage that I managed to watch a little bit because I got stuck, over work, was Darby Allin challenging Kyle O'Reilly to a match, like super last before the show even ended. So like, wow, they're like adding matches, and who knows, they might still add more matches during the kickoff show last minute or whatever, But yeah, be ready to start, guys. We'll go over the feuds here and there, and we'll give our thoughts. And apparently Jack Knives is going to be sending me recordings of his thoughts, and I'll put them in there. It's going to be kind of weird, the recordings, because it's not like we can add to it or refute them or whatever. But, yeah, I'll put all the matches and the thoughts and all that stuff here. So, right off the bat, the first match is kind of a crazy one, and it's one we've been waiting for a bit, at least to get, Danhausen finally, wrestling. So we had a match on Dynamite once, I think, last week, but I missed it because, again, work. But anyways, Hook is teaming up with Danhausen, calling himself Hookhausen, and they're going up against Tony Nese and Smart Mark Sterling. I thought he was just one of those ballet guys. I didn't know he was an actual wrestler, but it's going to be a tag team match. And right away, my prediction is, of course, Hookhausen. They're the big favorites and stuff, and well, not just that, but Hook is like fucking unstoppable. So, and I don't know. Like on one side he can't lose, and the other side I thought they're gonna make Danhausen take the pin. So I think Hookhausen's gonna win this one.
Yeah, I agree. I got Hookhausen on this one. I mean, given their name does sound like a Castlevania character.
I know, right?
Hook and Danhausen are like. They are the new age rock and sock connection. So you've got like this one tough guy, and then you've got this one crazy off the wall lunatic who is coincidentally the comic humor even during matches. So yeah, that appeal is definitely gonna run to the crowd a lot more than what Tony Nese and Smart Mark Sterling have. Not to mention wrestling wise, they are both very good. I have followed Danhausen during his indie years. Like, don't let him fool you. He's a damn good wrestler. So yeah, I'm gonna give it to Tony Nese, and not Tony Nese, Hook and Danhausen for this one.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's most likely going to be Hookhausen. He's extremely talented. I seriously just like lose the match right away.
Hey everyone, this is Jack from Jack Knives Reviews. Unfortunately, I'm not able to make this prediction video because I'm actually on my way to go see Double or Nothing live. So I wanted to pre-record my thoughts on who I think is going to win, so that way you guys can enjoy it with me, and you can enjoy the show itself. First off, with the pre-show, we have Hookhausen with Hook and Danhausen versus Tony Nese and Smart Mark Sterling. I'm going to go with Hookhausen on this. I think Hook is going to make Tony Nese tap out, or I think Danhausen is going to actually beat the crap out of Smart Mark Sterling, because I want to see Danhausen pull off his great wrestling that I know he can do because I've seen it live in the indies.
Okay, so yeah, that's anonymous. All of us are voting for Hookhausen. So the next one also seems kind of like a no-duh, kind of no-brainer. And I don't know, I'm a bit like about it. But it's Jade Cargill defending her AEW TBS Championship, not to be confused with the AEW PBS Championship or the Nickelodeon Championship, against Anna Jay, the only female member of the Dark Order. And I mean, Anna Jay is just not like the right opponent that I see her like taking the title and whatever. It's all Jade. And honestly speaking, I'm just kind of disappointed a little bit, because this could have been just like, it could have been another episode of Rampage or Dynamite. Like, it didn't have to be the pay-per-view. I guess they kind of ran out of people to challenge her, or people to like properly build up to see if they could take her down or something. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm gonna go with Jade. I just don't really see Anna Jade doing anything. I mean, they'll probably make her fight for it. Make it a decent match. But yeah, Jade all the way.
Agreed. I mean, Anna Jay, don't get me wrong, decent wrestler, but not up to par with Jade. If anything, like, if it extends past 5 minutes, I'll be surprised. But I got a really, really seriously bad feeling that this is going to end up being a squash match for the TBS title. But yeah, definitely have Jade Cargill for the win.
And I'm also going to add Jade Cargill. I think she's going to win this match. She is such a phenomenal wrestler and such a powerhouse. Yeah, I think Jade Cargill is going to win this match. And unfortunately, I think this will be like those short matches that really has no business. I don't know. I don't like it when pay-per-views put matches like that. Like they should offer better matches. People deserve higher quality for the money you're paying.
I think a lot of times they kind of get away with it too because people travel for so far and stuff. It's like regardless of what the match is, it's like, oh man, you get to see Jade in action or whatever. But yeah, they need. Like, I really don't know who would have been a good opponent for her unless they just flat out send Hikaru Shida after her or something, or you know what, have Nyla Rose go after her or something like that. I just don't know who else would be an impressive enough opponent to go against Jade.
That would have been pretty interesting having Jade Cargill versus Nyla Rose because they're both powerhouse.
Yeah, that would have been a challenge. Now, unfortunately, they got, you know, Nyla Rose got like the Street Fighter V DLC, so she's been nerfed a lot. I've noticed that in some of the matches she's fighting. Well, yeah, there's some matches where she's fighting against Sky Blue, and even though she does, you know, take her down, I mean, yeah, Sky Blue's giving her way too much trouble. That should be just pick her up, slam her ass down the end. But no, she's still like, you know, whatever. So she's got nerfed a bit. So
yeah, there's a bit of an input delay on her V trigger.
Yeah. Please don't kill us. Nyla Rose, if you're listening, please don't kill us.
We love you.
Next, we have the AEW TBS Women's Championship. Jade Cargill defending against Anna Jay. And, of course, she will also probably have Kira Hogan and Red Velvet. I'm going to give this to Jade Cargill. I don't think she's going to lose the TBS title anytime soon. I actually believe that some point down the line she's going to lose it to Toni Storm or someone of a bigger caliber that will be signed later.
We've got the next one, the third match. We've got the House of Black, which is Malachi Black, Buddy Matthews, and Brody King versus El Triangulo de la Muerte, Pac, Bento Escudo, and Rey Fenix. And it feels so good to have them like together because it always feels like since the day they announced their team, and that's kind of like when COVID happened and whatever, and one of them's always either out or injured or Pac is stuck because he can't travel or whatever the fuck. So it's good to finally see them together, not just here are two representatives. No, all three of them are here, so that's fucking awesome. And yes, my vote does go for Death Triangle. I don't really know too well. I mean, I guess the story still kind of goes off of the whole Malachi Black spitting in the mist into Pac's eye. He was blinded. He had the eye patch. He came back. They're still beefing with each other and stuff. So this kind of continues from there. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm going for Death Triangle. El Triangulo de la Muerte. Man, what do you guys think?
I'm definitely going for Death Triangle, but between Malachi Black, Pac, Penta, and Rey Fenix, see, this is the type of stuff right here that would make Braun Strowman have a freaking aneurysm, because there's going to be a lot of flippy shit, and it's going to be a lot of hard flippy shit, because I've noticed that there's a lot of... They fight Pac almost fights with a near luchador style, but it's a hard style. So it's going to be a really, really damn good match.
Oh, and those kicks, man. Those kicks of his.
Oh, yeah. Those kicks will light you up like a Christmas tree. So definitely going to be a match to watch. But on this one, I got Death Triangle.
Yeah. Not just the flippy shit, but remember, Buddy Matthews and Brody King, they're big dudes, man. So that's like right there, the big dudes versus the flippy shit, you know?
Yep, and I'm gonna also go with the Death Triangle. Again, this is like the kind of match that people pay money for. People do want to see the flippy shit. And on top of that, these are all extremely talented wrestlers. They're very agile. They have good speed. They have everything going on for them. So this is definitely the kind of match that is worthy of a pay-per-view. So definitely Death Triangle.
I'm going to go with Death Triangle. It seems like they've kind of waited too long to pull the trigger on them. And I hope that they do something with this. Otherwise, it feels like their whole push is going to be basically buried at this point.
On the other side, the next match here, the fourth one we have, is the Hardys, Matt and Jeff, they're back together again, versus the Young Bucks, which are, Matt and Nick Jackson. And I'm sure what's his face is running around too. Nakazawa's probably going to be cheating too. But now this was a hard one, because on one side, I want the Hardys to win because I'm sick to death of the damn fucking Young Bucks, and I don't know what the fuck makeup they were wearing today. Like one of them was wearing like weird. I guess he was taunting Jeff Hardy because he was kind of wearing like Jeff Hardy-ish makeup today. There was a match today which was the Young Bucks versus I don't know, some random tag team, and Gangrel's there too, and then suddenly the Hardys show up and Gangrel's with them too and whatever. So I don't know, that was a weird match, but I don't know about this one. I want the Hardys to win, but the Young Bucks are the Young Bucks. And I don't know. I'm going to say the Young Bucks win, not because I want them to, but I kind of feel they're going to go that way.
Yeah, in the tradition of AEW having lengthy storytelling, I think they're going to try to keep that going until, there's a title or something on the line. I mean, between those two, let's be real, the Young Bucks is pretty much the dollar store knockoff version of the Hardys to begin with. So, I think they're going to keep this feud running until, there's something bigger on the table, like there's a title on the line or something of that nature, and then it'll probably end with the Hardy Boys winning. But as of right now, I think if it's going to be the Young Bucks by some sort of weird disqualification or some sort of just, odd-ass weird shenanigans in the ring.
This is kind of hard because a part of me thinks that the Young Bucks will most likely win the match, but I just can't vote I want the Young Bucks to win. I'm not crazy about them. Goodness, it's just I want to be the contrarian and actually say, hey, maybe the Hardys can win this match. I don't know. So just because I'm really tired of the Young Bucks at this point. Unfortunately, I think the Young Bucks might win the match. So I think I will just go with that feeling.
Next, we have the Hardys versus the Young Bucks. I honestly couldn't even pretend to care about this match. I'm not invested, nor do I like, honestly, either team. For my reasons, you could probably listen back to my old podcast, but Young Bucks, it's more to do with I don't like them on a personal level. I think they're arrogant assholes. And for the Hardys, I think that they are either a combination of unsafe or unreliable or both. So honestly, this could really, I couldn't care less. I'm sure it's going to be entertaining, but I just really couldn't get invested in it. So I'm going to go with the Hardys, but I think the Bucks are probably going to cheat to win. But I'm going to go with the Hardys.
Okay, so the next one we got here, this is going to be another, crazy as hell clusterfuck, because I think it's an actual 5-on-5 match, man. Oh, yeah, the match itself is called Anarchy in the Arena match, which I don't really know what the rules are, but it's probably just more crazy shit and, falls count anywhere kind of thing, which I kind of know some of these matches are. Especially since now we're going back to a live setting. We're no longer doing the, pre-recorded movie type things that we're doing before. But in case you guys didn't know, or I guess our viewers, after the whole Jericho refusing to shake Eddie Kingston's hand and everything, he actually left. He actually disbanded the Inner Circle and formed what he calls now the Jericho Appreciation Society, which I still think is a corny, cheesy name, with Jericho himself, of course, Matt Menard, Angelo Parker, Daniel Garcia, and Jake Hager. And they also now run with the gimmick, which I'm pretty sure it's making fun of WWE because they're calling themselves, sports entertainers. Like, we're not wrestlers, we're sports entertainers. And even call the fans the AEW Galaxy, hint, hint, nudge, nudge, groan, groan, and all that. So anyways, the Jericho Appreciation Society are going to be going up against Eddie Kingston, Santana, Ortiz, but also the Blackpool Combat Club of Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley. So holy damn fucking shit, you know what I mean? Now, another thing to consider is that Jericho and William Regal actually got in each other's spaces to the point where Regal actually attacked him a couple of times. It was not an all-out match, but at least he still knocked him down or whatever. So I don't know, man. So there's gonna be a crazy ass match. Falls kind of everywhere most likely. And there's got to be another confrontation between Jericho and Regal. There's got to be a little face-off or something. I know Regal can't do a full-on match, but he'll still do something on him and everything. But, damn, man. I don't know. This is Jericho's team and stuff, but now Jericho's a heel. He's annoying now in that sense. So, and the Blackpool Combat Club is just so fucking awesome. And, of course, Eddie Kingston, Santana Ortiz, all them. So, I don't know, man. I want to give it up to them. I want to give it up to Eddie, Santana Ortiz, and the Blackpool Combat Club. And see what's going on. I mean, at the same time, this is the first pay-per-view for the Jericho Appreciation Society. So, they might win because of that. But, I don't know, man. I'm giving it up for the Blackpool Combat Club and their buddies. Because they're just awesome right now. I just wish that Wheeler, Utah was also in on this.
Same here. I gotta give it to Eddie Kingston and the Blackpool Combat Club. Now, either way, no matter which way it goes, I'm gonna be up for this because any of the arena matches that have gone on in AEW have just been downright balls to the wall, fun and hilarious. Now, having the Combat Club in there plus Santana and Ortiz, it might be like a arena version of Def Jam Vendetta at this point. But still, it's gonna be really fun to watch. I've loved the arena matches that they've had before. But yeah, I'm gonna give it to Eddie Kingston, Santana Ortiz, and the Blackpool Combat Club because that's a lot going on. And yeah, I feel like there's gonna be a good bit of after beef between Regal and Jericho, which might actually turn into something, but we'll see.
Okay, so for this match, I might actually be the contrarian because even though I do think that what's it called,
the Jericho Appreciation Society.
No, the other one.
The Blackpool Club? Blackpool Combat Club?
Even though that's pretty cool and all that, I still think that because the Jericho Appreciation Society... Damn, how did he just call it the Jericho Club? Would have been easier to remember. The Jericho Appreciation Society, since they just started, they might want to, shine a little bit and, I guess let the people know what they're all about. So I don't know. I think that for the pay-per-view, they might actually win this match. So that's not necessarily because I'm super, I want them to win or whatever. It's more because for promotional reasons, so that people can kind of get to know them more, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get what he's saying. I mean, it's a new team, and it's time to put, the spotlight on them and show, what they can actually do as a team. So, you know what? I know I'm going to hate myself for saying this. I'm actually going to change my decision. I'm going to go with the Jericho Appreciation Society.
My goodness. See, that's what happens when Ricky Rocks doesn't show up in the chat. Like Johnny can even change people's minds.
Oh my god.
One thing I also want to say, though, I do got to give credit, though, because just like how Sammy was in the beginning, now, of course, he's a bigger star, like him or hate him, because I know now he's getting the hatred now. But, I mean, Jericho did help build him up and everything, as well as Santana and Ortiz and everything. So now, I don't really know or care much about Matt Menard, Angelo Parker, and Daniel Garcia, but now's their chance to change my mind and show me what's going on. So you get invested in these guys, too, so... Yeah, we'll see there.
Either ways, this match is going to be super action-packed.
Yeah, watch out, man, because Jericho's a wizard. Oh, man. Yeah, you know that? Jericho threw a fireball on I forgot whose space. No, I think it was Kingston's space, and he's all like, "Watch out, I'm a wizard," and all that stuff. And naturally, there's a shirt of that because everything Jericho says becomes a shirt. And yeah, Jericho's really piling on the heel stuff now. The whole thing about how can, Eddie Kingston show up wrestling here instead of like taking care of his wife and kids, and like, hey, if his wife needs taken care of, hey, give me a call and whatever. I'm like, dude.
This one I'm going to go with Eddie and his team. I believe that they're going to win. I mean, the Jericho Appreciation Society is just a really crappier version of the Inner Circle. And it just doesn't work. The messed up thing is Jericho originally, he has such personality, but he had such personality with the Inner Circle because he had people to bounce off of. The other people in this team besides JK, they don't have the personality to bounce off of. So their team just kind of feels lackluster, and no one really can get into it as much as the others. Yes, he has a great theme song, but that can only get you so far.
And what are your thoughts of them bringing up the sports entertainers crap?
I think it's hilarious because, like, considering the company is slowly melting down, this is kind of like the knockout blow. You hit them as hard as you can, while they're wobbling. So I think it's freaking hilarious that, they're coming in, especially when you have Jericho, who, the majority of the highlights of his career came from that certain sports entertainment company, is the main one that's plugging that. So I honestly think it's just downright hilarious. I love it.
I'm surprised they haven't made a shirt yet that says, I'm a member of the AEW Galaxy or some shit like that. And actually, that would have been a thing, because I don't think WWE ever actually made a WWE Universe whatever shirt. So they could actually have beat them to the punch right there and make a, proud member of the AEW Galaxy or whatever. You know what I mean? Put some stars and shit and comments and whatever.
Yeah, that'd be funny. Just for, like, insult to injury, like, draw the AEW logo, but instead of it being, like, the regular AEW, have it just look kind of like, all scratched up like the old WWE Attitude Era logo.
Oh, there you go. And also, like I said, beat them to the punch, because I don't think I've ever seen a WWE Universe shirt.
Come to think about it, nope, never.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know, we got late into the game, I gotta admit, but when me and my ex watched it, we were like buying new shirts every other week or every other month. So we would have seen WWE Universe shirts somewhere,
I've been in it since, like, before the Attitude Era. Not once have I ever seen a WWE Universe shirt at all.
Is that when they kind of started saying that?
Yeah, like, near the end, a lot of people started calling it the WWE Universe, especially, like, in their retirement speeches and stuff like that. So that's where it kind of got coined. But, yeah, never saw one.
Well, Johnny and I, we watched WWF back in the day. Then we moved to Mexico, and we watched WCW just in time for the NWO. We were probably watching a good maybe 2-3 months before, Scott Hall's famous entrance in there. And when we went back to the States, we didn't really watch wrestling, but we kind of sort of knew about it because Tyranny, Sweet Pete was big on it. So we played the games, and we watched 1 or 2 pay-per-views with them. We watched the WrestleMania with The Rock versus John Cena. Once in a lifetime, never again. Happen again next year and stuff like that. And whatever. But after a while, I got back into it during Paige's era. Yeah, we got into it during the Paige era. When just shortly when she joined WWE and everything, and I think we just jumped ship. Once it started with the whole Bobby Lashley, Lana, Rusev thing, we just whatever. I forgot what other crap was going on during that time, but it was during that time where we jumped ship, And then AEW became a thing, and like, oh yeah, here we go. You know what I mean? Yeah, and the funny thing is, every time someone gets pissed off, like, real bad episode of Raw, or like maybe the last pay-per-view sucked or something, and they say I quit, I'm never watching WWE, I'm quitting this shit and whatever, everyone's always like, yeah, right, buddy, yeah, see you next week, pal, and stuff like that. And sure enough, they would be there watching next week, bitching about the next episode. Like, you almost like hate watching WWE at this point, like hate watching. But not me, man. Like, when I got fed up, when it was like the last straw for me, I was like no longer having fun and everything, and each episode was sucking worse and worse. I just gave up. I literally gave up, and I canceled the WWE Network. And everyone was like, yeah right, see you next week, Mark, and stuff. But no, there was no next week for me. I quit cold turkey. I started watching like the Indies and Ring of Honor and Rise Women's Wrestling and stuff like that. And then once AEW became a thing, that was it, man. That was like that was it. Like no turning back. No turning back. I never went back to WWE. And honestly speaking, you don't even have to anymore, because just watch the headlines and stuff. That's all you need to know. Like Stone Cold at WrestleMania. I didn't watch WrestleMania or nothing. I just saw the social media talking all about it. The Sasha Banks walkout. Like all these things are things you just watch social media about. So like I don't even have to fucking watch the show if I was ever curious. You know what I mean? And I've always told myself I'll quit WWE for now. But maybe I'll come back during Royal Rumble or Survivor Series, because those two were always like big events. But then I find out like what's going on and who's headlining, and I'm like, I'll pass. So once again, man, once AEW became a thing, that's it. Going forward, never look back.